Good morning.
It
Good morning.
is, it is, it is, it is, it is. All right. Is there a topic of du jour that you like to discuss? Work around. All right, let's all go to the gym and start pumping some iron. All right, who wants to start in the swimming pool? Who needs a little push into the swimming pool?
How about Todd? When you're negotiating for a seller and you're trying to get top dollar for them, and let's say that you're not getting as much traffic as you want, and let's say you got a low ball offer from another side, and you're trying to negotiate, but you're not, want to disclose any other offers, but you want to bump up each every price. So what do you do, or what does everyone else do?
Okay, that was
Good
sort of.
question.
I know
I,
some.
I'm not sure. Okay, you have a seller that's not getting a lot of action, but yet you have an offer, and there's some other offers. You got a low ball offer, and there's some other offers. I'm not sure. It was hard to follow.
I guess it's just in general when you're trying to get top dollar for your listing, right?
Okay, and has it exceeded its ex? Has it exceeded the offer review date?
Yeah, let's say that. Yeah.
Okay, and are there any offers coming in?
Mm,
No.
let's
Yes.
say no. I guess I don't know.
Okay. Okay. Let's just role. I'm going to get into this role play, and you're going to be the customer. You direct it the way you want to direct it, and I'll try to produce the outcome that I think that you're looking for. But I'm going to need your help to ask the questions of me, the real estate broker, so I can help define the situation. So, Jose, we had a sort of a slow weekend. As you know, we did anticipate a multiple offer situation, and it did not happen. Had some open houses out there. The tour traffic was mediocre at best. It doesn't look like the audience that we're looking for, that we're marketing to, uh, is not going to be providing an offer. So as of today, I'm going to be removing the offer review date because we don't have any offers to review. Moving forward, I have some suggestions and some recommendations. Whether or not you decide to do one of whatever, or we just continue to stay course. Is it okay to have this discussion with you at this time, or should we schedule it for another time today?
So am I the seller?
Yes, we have.
Okay. I think we should just well, it's I can talk right now, but I think we should just wait it out, and maybe the right buyer is gonna come up.
Yeah, there's always the right buyer for the property. I'm not discounting that. Um, One of the things I want you to be aware of in terms of pricing, this is just strategically speaking. I'm not talking about your pocketbook. Okay, it has everything to do with your pocketbook, but I'm just talking about strategic, the approach to pricing. If you are a buyer, okay, and I know you've bought in property before, you see a property that's been on the market without a price reduction at 14 days, what do you think of the property?
I think it was just overpriced or
Yeah.
something wrong on it.
No, yeah, you're right. It's going to be one of those two things, and you're not going to write a full price offer on a property that hasn't had a price reduction in 14 days, specifically in this market. So, knowing that buyers are way more savvy than they have ever been, and in this market, if it hasn't hit a multiple offer situation, and you extend that pricing for an extended period of time, you're actually working against the current and getting as much money as you can in your real as much money as you can in your pocket. So here's my recommendation: one of three, and then it's whatever you want to do. Immediately make a price reduction today. Okay. Two, make a price reduction on Friday. Three, make a price reduction next Tuesday.
And how much are we talking, Todd?
Well, What do you feel? What do you feel comfortable at?
You
I
know,
mean, if no one's going to be no, if no one's, huh?
so I didn't want to go any lower than 530.
Well,
So
then, hey, this is going to sound like I'm being a smartass, Jose. Okay, but I'm not. At a certain point in this process, like I've spoken with other sellers in the past, you and I both want as much money out of this product as possible. Okay, I can't sell a product if it's overpriced, and a buyer's not going to buy it if it's overpriced. And if they shoot you a low ball offer, it might have been just absolutely ridiculous. But at the end of the day, you are buying your product back every single day at the price that you have it on the shelf. So at some point in time, you either keep it or sell it or reduce it until we get it sold. And the thing about reducing the price doesn't demonstrate that you are being weak. It demonstrates that we are correcting to the market based upon the exposure that we've had, the feedback that we have. And part of the feedback that you want to listen to is that low offer. I know you're not going to accept it, but that's feedback.
okay, sounds good, Todd. Let's do it,
So
guys.
let me help strategize just a little bit about those three options about making adjustments. If you adjust it now, you're going to create the momentum, moving forward. And it's going to trigger a response to reverse prospect all those people that have been looking at the property. Okay, I can do that today. Second, let's wait it out a little bit and hit your price reduction right before the weekend shopping cycle hits again. So what I'm suggesting is we're here on Tuesday. Okay, make your price adjustment Thursday night or Friday morning, because that's when the next truckload of inventory of new listings is going to be delivering it to the shelves of the store of the market. And so if you drop it now, you may get some interest before the next delivery on Thursday or Friday of the new listings. So why not? I think the best suggestion, the one I would go with if I were you, is to hit that price reduction either Thursday night or Friday morning when that new inventory arrives, so you can be better prepared to compete. And then we'll run some new ads, refresh it, hit some open houses, and hopefully by this time next week, we can be under contract. Or, third option, we run it through another sales weekend. Okay. I'm all about getting as much money out of this property as you. And so hold it, run it through another weekend cycle, see if we can get some more feedback, see if I can drum up another offer. And if that doesn't happen, it's for sure the following week at this point in time, if we're not under contract, we're having a similar situation, the same conversation. I think we're poised for a certain price reduction at that point. Which one would you like to do?
I say let's just wait it out a weekend and see what we get.
Perfect.
So
That's my conversations, Jose.
What's the feedback you're getting from other agents?
from me? Or
Yeah,
what
you. Yeah. What's the
Okay.
feedback you're
Well,
getting from other agents?
well, this was my listing in the beginning, but I already got it under contract. So, but
Yeah,
I
yeah, you do. Yeah, you
Oh.
got it under contract.
gave me more time to find my buyer. So, but yeah, it was just weird. I had a lot of people tell me they were writing up offers, and I was expecting 4 multiple offer.
Okay, here's the feedback. Let me answer that, Jim. What's the feedback? Here's the like we've had from the open house, Jim. It's too close to the street, not enough backyard. The house is great. The square footage is great. The number of bedrooms, check the list. But it's the driveway, proximity to the street, and the backyard that's killing your deal. And those are the things we can't change. And so that's going to probably be the conversation that we're going to be rolling forward into the beginning. These are things that we discussed that we know we can't change about the property. But the buyers that are writing the checks for this property, that's what they're saying. And we may come across somebody who will be willing to pay that, the top price for the property at your full price, because we have exceeded uh, the the offer expiration or the review date. So we're past the review date. We may find somebody in this market who is willing to, live with those shortcomings that the property offers, or some of these other properties don't, and pay that top price. So I mean, these are things that are not going to go away. These are the continuing pieces of feedback that we're going to be getting. We can't do anything about it, and I'm not skirting around the conversation.
Mm.
But this is, this is the reality of our situation, and I definitely, for your sake, do not want to have this continue to have the same, maybe lowball offers come in with the same feedback at the same price, because at that certain point in time, you become that steak at the end of the aisle in the discount that is $5 off of what it was originally at $15 with the other steaks. And it's interesting because you have a set of steaks out there, particularly in Fred Meyer's. I love meat, and I'll always go to that discount. And even though I can see that there's a steak that's $3 less, it's $12.49. I will look at it and say, maybe I can find something with more marbling that looks a little redder and maybe a little more tender to the touch through the plastic film. And I'll go, and if there's something better at $15 to $16, I will buy it.
I'm still dazed and confused at what the original thing was here.
It doesn't matter.
All
It's
right.
an overpriced listing that didn't sell,
Okay.
and we're up against a review date.
Okay.
So what about reverse prospecting? Do you what do you guys do to succeed in that? Like,
It's a process through the MLS that you click a button and reverse prospect it, and it sends out a notification to the brokers that have put their buyers under the criteria that I've checked the box that it says allow reverse prospecting. So buyers agents, if you put your buyers on the auto email system, concierge, traditional or non-traditional concierge, where you are checking and verifying before they're sent. So it's an agent review prior to sending versus the as soon as possible automatic sent traditional. There's another box in there that says allow. I don't know if it's unchecked allows or checked to not allow on reverse prospecting.
I think it's allow a reverse prospecting.
Yeah, I think you have to check the box to allow. So in that case, if those buyers that have viewed the property have that allow reverse prospecting, then you can click the button reverse prospect to those clients. And it also notifies the broker as well, because I've received some notifications.
Is that pretty effective?
No, I haven't found to be effective.
Oh, okay.
Because buyers are pretty savvy when you make a price adjustment. They're looking specifically in a low inventory market, Jose. The buyers are recirculating through inventory daily. They're seeing your listing. They're seeing their listing. They're looking for new listings. Just like when we go look for listings, oh, seen it, saw it, and you're scrolling down the screen or clicking next. The same ones keep showing up. Now, if you have a price reduction on it, okay, it's going to show up differently. Here's another technique, another strategy. If the seller is not going to be reducing the price, okay, and you want to run it for another weekend, change the front image of the property and rearrange your first 15 to 20 remarks.
Cool.
The buyers were like, wait a minute, that's a different front picture. And then they'll see the difference and they'll say, isn't that the same address? But it looks, there's a different image. And then they'll read the 15 lines, which are different from what it is they've seen for the last 3 days. I think this is the same house. It'll pause them and get them a little longer look.
Oh, cool.
Well, and if you put an open house out there, it pops back up on like Redfin where they email it out to people. Oh, open house this weekend, so it kind of perks it up a little bit there too.
Yep.
Cool.
So yeah, in a market that I haven't had to do that strategy, employ that strategy in a long time, and I've actually forgotten about it until I just remembered it, about changing that front image and then rearranging the first 15 to 25 of the remarks. It's the same address, but it looks different. And when people are scrolling through it, they're like, wait a minute, have I seen this before? This looks familiar. And they're not going to remember the address. They just remember what they see and how they feel. And then if you can create a different scenario, then wait a minute, let's go and take a look at this. I know because Jose, we were talking about this deal on Friday, but you got it under contract, so congratulations.
Thank you.
This is the listing that you have?
Yeah.
Excellent. Good
Yeah.
job.
Yeah, it was. It was absolutely.
And you brought the buyer?
I brought the buyer, and then it sat in the market for 12 days, and I still got it above asking.
Right on.
Yep.
But yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, it's good. It's good.
Well done.
I will say in regards to listings, I'm learning a nasty lesson with my listing here in AZ that actually I got to go talk some legal issues with my managing broker about. We have a listing and we took a contingent buyer and it was already under contract and with a buyer, and so we went ahead and got in bed with them. Looking back, one of the things that I did not do was poke on the viability of the buyer's buyer. So kind of a lesson learned that you want to know anything and everything about the entire house of cards that you're getting in bed on.
According to our agreements, on a contingent offer, if it is contingent using Form 22B and not the 22EF, evidence of funds, okay, they have to supply the information regarding the contingent offer. It's required.
So this is a wonky one. Long story short, technically we did receive that information, but what we didn't know is that buyer was doing a refinancing to get the funds to do a purchase, and that wouldn't have been disclosed on the paperwork had I taken the extra effort to really deep dive and talk to the lender to find out what their situation was. Yeah, the whole thing is a dog's breakfast.
Yeah, that's unfortunate. That is unfortunate. We act in good faith regarding our real estate transactions to a large degree. And what Jim has just said, that a little bit of inquiry, just a little bit of discovery can solve a lot of pain and discomfort later. But I will be the first one to admit, Jim, I don't do a lot of that due diligence and that deeper dive either, because I rely in good faith and those types of actions to do it. So that is a wonderful, wonderful reminder for those listing brokers, and as well as buyer brokers,
Yeah.
when you are submitting an offer, to also make sure that their offer is pretty solid. That if you're making an offer that's contingent, and inform them that the listing broker will more than likely and contact that other loan officer. Somebody's buying my house and I'm buying somebody else's house, and that domino effect all starts with this guy over here, because when this one falls, then I get my deal.
That's right. That's exactly right. Normally,
Yeah.
I mean, all the time I've done contingent, it's been a non-issue. This one has bit me in the ass, and that was the lesson learned. I didn't ask enough whys. And I preach it to everybody. Why? You want to know the big picture.
In those types of situations, and those things it causes a lot of stress. Everyone's plans are readjusted, modified, and altered. If we can keep everything together, then people are scrambling to do bridge loans in order to stay in the contract for the second, not the first one, but the second one here, to get this one here. They may have to do a bridge loan to get this property and then find another buyer, or let them work that stuff out in order to maintain the close date on a bridge loan for short term. You know what I'm talking about. So all of those things are into discussion, and which no one ever thought about or dreamed of ever happening. Causes a lot of stress. There's a lot of people involved with this transaction. 3 real estate brokers, a half a dozen sellers and buyers, escrow companies, processors, underwriters, loan officers. There's so many people
It's a
intertwined.
freaking
with
house
this.
of cards.
Great reminder.
And the other thing is, though, too, as we know, the lenders are really good at singing the right song, so we believe them,
Yeah.
even if there's some issues going on.
No, it's just like us, just like us real estate brokers at some points too. When we're in the cockpit, and we're dealing with some turbulence, and the passengers, our customers, are like, "Is everything okay?" We're like, "Everything's okay up here. Just remain calm, keep your seatbelts on, and this will get through." And then meanwhile, we're like this in the cockpit, and it gets fixed. But if the passengers were ever aware, sometimes what was happening in the cockpit, they would be freaking freaked.
Yeah, because we are.
So just understand the same game at times is being played when we're the passenger in this financing deal.
Mm-hmm.
We are let to know what it is we need to know. And when things get really out of control in the cockpit, that's when we sometimes hear it. And that's when we have to it comes to a point where it's like, okay, I got to inform everybody now. And, we try to handle it in the cockpit. You're absolutely correct.
Yes, that is an incredible analogy. That's exactly it. And I really, 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 really thought long and hard about letting my client know that stuff was going sideways. But there's a time where because I didn't have all the information yet, and it was, and so we're approaching on our closing date, and I knew something was going sideways a week out. Do you wait? And so no, there's a time where you really just bite the bullet and give them their fair amount of time of notification, because they're going to ask you, if I would have waited, why didn't you tell me sooner? And you don't want to have that conversation. So you got to be transparent too at times when you don't want to.
And the only way to really get this knowledge and wisdom is through experience.
Yeah.
And for the new brokers that are joining here with 3 veterans, we're not suggesting that we don't inform our clients.
Oh, no.
Rochelle, at times, Rochelle's like, we need to contact the clients. We need to contact the clients.
Denise does that too.
And I'm like, let me work these controls here a little bit. Let me, let's wait on I don't want to upset the apple cart on a Friday, because I can maybe have this resolved by Monday.
Yep.
If it's not resolved by Monday, then by Tuesday, I'm going to have to let this thing open up. I'm going to have to open it up. Thank God I didn't have to open it up on Friday, because I had it resolved Monday afternoon. And that would have just ruined their whole freaking weekend. Stressing, worrying, anxiety, and thank God it worked out. But sometimes it doesn't work out. Sometimes it doesn't work out too. And you have to make that tough phone call.
And that's exactly right. We're getting paid as professionals in the industry to keep this, make it as a smooth and timely transaction, and reduce that stress and roller coaster ride on your client as much as you can. I don't like putting them through the roller coaster ride any more than absolutely necessary.
Sometimes I'm reluctant to have this discussion with new to the industry brokers, because sometimes it can be interpreted as don't tell them anything.
Yeah, no. That's not what we're saying.
And the time frame, if what it is that you're doing, which is, even after you've gotten out of the mentor program, Jose, these are conversations that are well worth having with an elder.
Yeah.
I'm an elder, finally.
I'm hearing it is there's a fine line,
Yes.
that you don't cross. And as Jim put it the other day, you're the great conductor of the symphony, everything going on in the background, and you're making sure that drums are beating at one time and the violins are coming in, and you're conducting everything in the background. Meanwhile, you got a happy buyer or seller, and you're the one picking on people and grabbing things. And yeah, that's the way I like how Jim put that.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Well, and a couple other things too. If they're talking about we're going to move out early, you kind of want to maybe say, you need to wait till we get to a certain point, prepare them. The other thing is too, is if you start to feel like things are going sideways, you start making phone calls, other lenders, see whatever it is you can do to keep this deal together. You kind of get them in your back pocket, right? If you know that there's a problem, you start working on it right away, even though you may not have to use them, but at least you've got some resources.
One of the biggest things in real estate and being a real estate broker is having the ability to solve problems
Mm-hmm.
and work quickly, make quick decisions, rely on your instincts at sometimes, and your instincts will never be 100% correct. Be willing to apologize when you make a mistake, but the point of it is being a problem solver, because it happens in every transaction. There's something that's going to come up you're going to have to solve. Even on the easiest ones, there are issues, and you're solving their problems emotionally, you're solving their problems financially, you're solving their problems relationally. I mean, we are a freaking counselor.
We are. We are.
And you're walking them back from a cliff. Sometimes you're pushing them forward. We are solving problems, and not only contractually, but in all the other aspects. So being a good problem solver and being wise about how you solve this stuff in the cockpit, and when you make these announcements, and how you do this, and how to make the call for a price adjustment, all those other great things. I'm going to make a quick announcement. We do have a team meeting today at 12:30, and I was just notified by a Rockstar ISA. That's an inside sales agent who knows 5 different calling platforms and 8 different CRMs that he knows. He's been doing this for years. I know him personally, and he's reached out to me to offer his services to the team. And so I'll give you a little bit more information about this ISA. He does follow-up. He'll scrub lists for you. He will cold call for you. He will do anything you need to over the phone. And so I'll introduce that, a little bit of that. But what I'm super excited about is this Friday. I want to, you're hearing this first, is this Friday. I haven't picked a time yet, but I want to get together a group of people who want to do a 30-day to make your best life. 30 days to have the best life ever. I'm going to start a 30-day process. I do this twice a year for 30 days at a time. And I want to take a group of people with me through this process. And so if you want to, on Friday, I will go through and I'll explain what it is like. And I do this twice a year. And I've been really religious about this for the last 4 years. And I've seen tremendous things happen in my life that have been life-changing. Some of them significant, some of them little small things. Small things lead to big things. But what I'm going to say is, if you want to do this, it's going to be about an hour presentation. All you'll need is to bring is a pen and your cell phone. I'll provide all the other materials, and there are other materials needed for this process. But you'll go through 30 days, starting on Saturday, the next following day. So for 30 straight days, 30 calendar days, that includes the weekends, okay? We're going to be going through 30 days to make your best, to have the best life ever. So if you wanted to do something like that, Jim, you can, join us online. If you can't make it in person, but I'll be making that announcement. And I want to take a group of people through the next 30 days to have an incredible life. It's the perfect time in the first quarter. We're halfway through the first quarter, and it will set you up for an amazing second quarter. This is the time of the year I always do this. I do this in the second month of the first quarter, and I do it in the second month of the fourth quarter. And anyways, for those that are to go through it, you're going to see some amazing things. And I'd be happy to have you all on board with that. But it's going to